Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 exercises for growing those tree trunks. So for our first exercise, it's going to be squat. It's a great compound movement, which means it's going to target a variety of those muscle groups found especially within your leg and the rest of your body. Now for those that are doing powerlifting or focused on strength building, they're going to be doing lower rep ranges with heavier weight. But for growing those tree trunks out, we're going to work on the hypertrophy of the muscles. For our case of growing our legs, it's going to be more of a bodybuilding approach, which means we're going to be focused on the hypertrophy of the muscles via higher rep ranges and lower weight. So we're going to be doing about 50% of our 1 rep max, and in some cases, 75% of our 1 rep max. And you're going to be cranking those out for at least 8 to 12 reps, and sometimes getting closer to 20 rep range to really get that good pump and get closer to failure. I think squats are the foundation for anyone that's trying to grow their legs, and I think the next exercises are going to be able to complement your leg growth and help better isolate some of those muscle groups to grow them even faster. And those muscle groups that the squat's hitting is going to be your glutes, it's going to be your quads, it's going to be your hammies, and basically any muscle group you find in your lower body, even your calves. And you're going to be using your stabilizers in your back just to be able to hold the weight up. So it's really a compound movement as far as how involved your body has to be during that movement. Now moving on to leg extensions and hamstring curls. Now this leg extension and leg curl machine is really going to be helpful in isolating your quads for leg extensions. And it's also going to be very beneficial in helping isolate our hamstrings for hamstring curls. By using machines and different exercises to help isolate these major muscle groups found within your legs, you're going to help increase your ability to grow your legs and grow them much faster than if you were just doing, a regular compound movement such as squat. So I think squats are a great foundation, but you got to have these other exercises to help complement your legs. The amount of weight you want to add varies per individual, but I like keeping it in the rep range of 12 to 15 at least, and sometimes getting closer to 25 reps per set, and doing about 2 to 3 sets for each. Now going on to the next exercise with the RDL or Romanian Deadlift, and this is going to really help isolate our hamstring. So basically you're going to step up to the bar in a conventional deadlift stance, but instead of bending your knees to squat down and grab the bar like you would in a regular conventional deadlift, you're instead going to keep your knees locked without bending them, and instead you're going to hinge at your hips to be able to grab the bar. This is also what's referred to as a straight leg deadlift. Sometimes to be able to keep good form, you have to bend your knees a little bit, so a little bit of bend is okay. You want to be sure you're doing it safe. You don't want to lock your legs if your back is going to be rounded and you can't keep your back straight. So if you have to bend your legs a little bit to keep your back straight, and that's going to be more beneficial in the long run than trying to force it with your back curved. This exercise can be really uncomfortable for a lot of beginners because a lot of times they'll find themselves being too far away from the bar or the legs are too wide. So if you need to, narrow your stance a little bit more than what you would in a conventional deadlift, get a little bit closer to the bar, and then bend down, grab the bar, and lift. RDLs don't necessarily have to be done with the barbell. I find it's easier to do with the barbell, but you can also do it with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, just by having one dumbbell or one kettlebell close to your body, keeping a narrow stance. We're going to bend down, grab the kettlebell, stand up, and then we're going to keep our legs as straight as possible while also hinging at the hips to maintain good back posture by keeping our back as straight as possible as well. I know some people might not agree with me on this stance, but I don't think you should really be going too heavy on RDLs, especially, mostly because hamstrings are the easiest group in our body to injure. And not to mention, they're also the highest at risk for being re-injured. So with that, we want to take care of our hamstrings, especially don't want to overload them, especially after a long leg day. And this is really easy to do if you're doing these at the end of your leg workout or leg routine, whatever you may be doing. And we don't want to create a long-term injury from doing these. These are to help supplement your legs, not be the main driving force in the growth. So now for a hack squat, I like using my deadlift platform, and basically I'm just going to put my heels up on the platform to get an elevation. They do have hack squat machines, but I'm not fortunate enough to have one, so this is what I wind up doing. You can also grab a 100-pound plate or a 45 rubber bumper because they're actually as thick as this deadlift mat, and you can do the same thing. So we're going to keep in a narrow stance, and we're just going to squat like this with our heels being elevated and our toes being lower than our heels. And this stance will actually help isolate your quads over your hamstrings, and so you're going to burning out your quads way faster on a hack squat than you would a normal squat. And in my hack squats, I like squatting similar to what appears to be a cannonball squat. And that mostly comes from my narrow stance. Hope this video is informational for you guys. If you guys believe that I missed a very important exercise to help grow your legs, please share them with me and the other people in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. Hope you guys have a good morning and a good night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.